Alicia, to the
Hello.
Montrella Cowan Show. We are so delighted to have you all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you asking me to come on. This is
Yeah, we are
exciting.
delighted to have you on because we have our audience is business owners, men and women. And I know what you do and what you specialize in makes a difference for all of us, especially as we are building our brands and representing our brands. We got to be looking. And I know that and I know that you can definitely help with that. So yeah, let's start with like, what is it that you do and tell us about the products that you offer.
Yes, so I am a retail store manager for a company called L'Occitane in Provence. So we are a international French beauty care company, natural-based products. So our products are all plant-based and everything is made in Provence. They are good for the skin. We have hair, body, face care products,
Okay.
men's and women in unisex.
Ooh.
So I manage a location in Tampa, so I manage a retail store in the International Mall.
And how long have you been working with that brand?
So I have technically been with the brand since 2013. I
Okay.
started as a part-time beauty associate from 2013 to 2015. I had come on just after I battled breast cancer, so I needed to get back into the working field. I did not
Definitely
have
want to
full
talk
time.
about that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, they did not have full time at the time, so I had to make a choice to leave. So I left for 2.5 years, went to another natural based retailer. But in 2018, they asked me to come back, but as a store manager, and I made the leaps. Technically, 7 years as a manager, I've been back.
Amazing. And that's such loyalty. That means that they're pretty good. And you like what
Yes,
you're doing. You like what you
yes.
represent.
I love what I do. First of all, I'm a people person,
Yeah.
so retail kind of fell in my lap, but also it's kind of genetic through my dad. He was also in retail when he went to college many
Really?
moons ago. So I
Oh,
just kind of fell into that, but I do have a degree that is in fashion as well.
wonderful. So you're one of the few people who, are doing the thing that you went to school for in a sense, right? Do you feel that connection between fashion and beauty care?
I do, because what I actually wanted to do was be a model, and
See it too.
but I'm a little short for the runway model. That was what I love to do. I did some modeling there in Milwaukee, but essentially I have the fashion background. So being in
Yes.
management, visuals, all of that, sales,
Mhm.
customer service. So management just kind of fell into my lap. I just
Yeah.
after graduation, I took a retail management job and I just continued from there.
Listen to her, y'all. Management kind of fell in my lap. Honey, those are skills, okay? You a boss for real.
Amen.
How many people do you manage currently?
I'm sorry, say it again.
How many people do you manage currently?
So currently in my store, I'm a smaller boutique. So I manage 3 beauty hosts. I have 2 part-time and 1 full-time.
Awesome. That is great. Y'all sound like
It is. And when you have a boutique, smaller boutiques like us, we are
Mhm.
able to blend together, work cohesively, and become a family. And that is what I'm about, because I bring family values, I bring positivity, and I want to nurture that into my team. So
Yeah.
whether they want to be just part-time or they want to look at becoming something more full-time or more permanent, like management, I use all of those type of skills to bring us together. So customer service, family values, positivity, love, because you can't have a cohesive team and people who work for you without those values. That's my opinion.
No, I love that. And I love the fact that you're saying if one of your team members aspires to, level up, you are rah right there supporting them as a champion because sometimes we don't get that from our managers, right? And
Exactly.
instead they're stepping on our neck or they're feeling intimidated. And so that's a
Mhm.
beautiful thing. Yeah. Yeah. So you have overcome cancer. Do you mind sharing with us about that? Like what
Oh,
happened?
not at all. In October 2012, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 2, here at the age of 41. So it
Okay.
was quite a shock, but I, came through everything with support of family. At the time, I was married. I am a widow. So my husband was alive at that time. So with his support, my family support, my in-laws support, my
Yeah.
friends support, I was able to come through. So
Yeah.
I am a survivor. And like I said, I had stage 2, HER2 negative. I also did genetics testing and found out that I was BRCA1 positive. Only one in my family.
Put that down. You got to slow it down for some of us. We can catch it on the way home. What does that mean?
Yes. So basically, what that means is the stage 2 and HER2 negative, what that, or HER2 positive, what that means is the type of cancer that I had and whether it was invasive or inductal. So whether or not it would metastasize through the body or stay in like one area. So mine kind of stayed in one area. And then the BRCA1, it is a genetic mutation that you could possibly have or not have. So most people around that time heard Angelina Jolie. She was BRCA1 positive, and so she advocated for full double mastectomy. So that was the same time.
Okay.
So that is what that means in a little bit of a nutshell.
Okay.
I'm an overcomer now, so.
Okay, yeah, that's amazing. So you tested positive for that last test?
I tested positive for the BRCA1 gene, which means that I would have had a 40% chance of a second breast cancer and or about 80% chance of ovarian cancer.
Okay, so it's like testing for cancer as a whole, it sounds like.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, do you know of any like women in your family, or men, I guess, for that matter, in your family who have
So that's the thing about it, is that no one in my immediate family, either side, mother or father's side, had cancer.
Okay.
I had a great aunt, which was my grandmother's sister on my father's side.
Yes.
She had breast cancer, but she got it when she was like 70 some, 80 something.
Okay.
And then I had a cousin on my mother's side who she would have been my second cousin. So no one immediately, thank God. So sometimes it's not just about genetics. Sometimes it's also about what we put in our body, put on our body, what we are utilizing, like microwave, radiation, things like that. So I think it was a lot of external aggressors that probably fueled mine.
Wow. So, I mean, I hope y'all are listening and tuning in. You know, sometimes it's not real for us, like I say, until it comes knocking on our door personally by way of a very close loved one or ourselves. So I really do appreciate you sharing and really pulling back the curtain, because you're saying, in addition to it being genetic, it could also be the products we're using, the things we're eating. And now I see how that's linked with your company.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's all natural based, right?
Yes. Yeah. And that is something that I actually, with my relationship with God, I told him at the time, I said, once I get back into retail, I really want to do something that is of service to other people. And I applied to L'Occitane, got it part-time because I was working for Cachet at the time, part-time, which is clothing retail. Yeah, things just went that way. And so I continued, I started to make sure that the majority of the things in my life, some of my foods, my hair care, body products, cleaning products, were all natural based.
Love it, because you are, for me, in my eyes, a symbol for beauty. And so for you to be able to have like your red hair and just be so beautiful and sparkling. I know I had some of your samples from the event, and my gosh, I'm like, whoa. And I'm a natural girl myself, and I love International Plaza. So I will be coming to check you all out for sure. Now, you know, in addition to business that a lot of people, our audience, they're either starting or they're trying to maintain or even level up to like 6-7 figures. But life happens too, right? We got health, we got the children or the spouse, and just all the other things. How did you get through that challenge of basically overcoming stage 2 cancer? What did it take?
Wow. So, you know, it takes a lot of support from family. You also need support from your medical system as well. You also need faith. So my faith in God, the love that I have for Jesus Christ, my Savior, and my family. So we have a very close-knit family, small family on both sides. My husband, my late husband's family as well. You know, just having people by you to, you know, lift you up if you feel down, to help you with those things that you all of a sudden found yourself not able to do. like working. For me, I was a worker. I was in management. I was in retail.
Yes.
I managed
Yes.
people. So was my husband. So once this happened and I had to go through treatments and all of that, I couldn't work, or I couldn't work like I had before. So it fell on him to
Okay.
work. And
Yes.
we had two of my stepchildren with us, which
Yes.
who were in school. So that's another thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm stepmommy, I'm, going through this. How am I going to get
Yes.
through?
Right.
So
Definitely.
all of the support system, the love, the kindness of everyone around me, and my God, that's what helped me get through.
Amen, amen. Wow, that's beautiful. And it says a lot about you as a person too, to be surrounded. I mean, even our spouses, right? Like, we're post-COVID now, and I think we're in post-recovery about it. COVID alone tore down so many relationships. And what I feel
Mhm.
like is if the glue wasn't there, it didn't stick, right? They
Yep, you're right. You're right.
together and like,
Yeah.
oh my, I don't even like you, right? But then
Well,
for those that had strong relationships, it strengthened. COVID strengthened those relationships. And so that tells me a lot about like your spouse you chose well. That
thank
your
you.
loving family and everything. It says a lot about you. You were going to say
Thank
something.
you. Thank you. I was just going to say, with the breast cancer diagnosis, my late husband, his name was Andre, his mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 2005.
Okay.
So he and his sister had gone through with his
Yes.
mom. So then
Yeah.
to have his wife all of a sudden have it was just like jarring, but the faith helped us, work together. He still
Wow.
had to work. My mom stepped in. She took me to my appointments. She stayed over and helped me throughout the day
Yeah.
until he got home.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
when did your husband pass and from what?
So my husband passed in November of 2016, and he passed of a massive heart attack. Yes, unfortunately, he had some health issues. Heart issues, and too little, too late. He was getting it kind of taken care of, but not as fast as it
Yeah.
should have been. And he was a little bit stubborn too.
They
Man,
usually are. Well,
yes,
may his soul rest in peace. Wow, I'm sorry
yes,
for your
yes.
loss. Now,
Thank
were
you.
your stepchildren little at that time, or they were already?
They were high school age. Kayla was 16, and
Okay.
then Andre Jr. was like 14 and a half, turned 15.
Wow, that's tough.
Mhm.
And you had
It's
to take.
very tough to lose their
Yeah.
father at that young age. And my stepdaughter was pregnant at that time.
Oh,
So that was also something, but
mm.
she had the first grandchild, Caden. So my
Oh,
husband was actually able to spend some time
he
with him.
was wonderful. I know that was
Hmm. Yes.
the sparkle in his eye.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you. Yes. First grant. Oh my goodness. Yes. So, but we made it through, and I have such a great relationship with them. They love me like I'm their own mom, and I'm involved in their lives. They're involved in mine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What a testament, again, to your character and your personality that even the stepchildren get along with your girlfriend. That is saying something.
Yeah.
All right, so we need you to spill the tea. You've been in retail. You sound like second generation. Your dad was in retail. Your husband was in retail.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful because I don't hear, to be honest with you, I don't know about y'all out there. Y'all can put in the chat if you hear
Yeah.
about it. I don't hear a lot of people who are in retail who really enjoy it, appreciate it, can't wait to get back to it. So, do you have like a winning formula that helps you to like be present for your customers and be present for your team and manage, the merchandise and all the things?
Really think what it is. I think being in retail as long as I
Yes.
have learned that you have to have a love for it and a long-standing love to stay in a lot of times as long as I have. And I think that you have to have a strength and a character to work with not only your staff, but to
Yes.
work with customers as well. You have to have a really good grasp on how you interact with people. You have to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Yeah.
So that means
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it's with your staff, you have a great person, but they're not producing. You have
Yeah.
to decide how that affects your business, how that affects the store, how it affects customer service as customers coming in and being helped. You
Yeah.
also, on the other end of the spectrum with customers, have to figure out, you know, how you can service them well. But if
Right.
there's something that, they constantly want to do or ask that goes against, some of your policies, or,
Okay.
doing some things to a little stretch to where, it may not benefit you and your company, you have to
Right.
decide, do I need to part with that customer, or,
Okay.
is it worth,
Okay.
what you're going through with them? So it's a
Sure.
balancing act. And I think
Absolutely.
you have to have patience.
Yeah. And it sounds like you have a real good grasp on like values-based decision making and your
Mhm.
leadership style.
Yes.
Is that
Very much so. Very much so. And I come from a values-based family.
yes.
So, I've always had, a mother and a
That's beautiful.
father and a stepmother, and
Okay.
everybody is cohesive. There was no arguments, bumps. We all still
Yeah.
to this day do
Okay.
everything together.
That's so
So
beautiful.
taking those core values from what I've learned and bringing it into my workspaces, that is what I do. And that is how I, succeed.
Yeah, wow, beautiful. I hope y'all taking notes because this is still, these are skills and values and ideas that you can transfer into your business. Because even in your business, you're managing people. If you don't have full-time employees, you got
Mhm.
if you don't have part-time employees, you got contractors, but you got to deal with people. And obviously, we all have customers, right? Or we would own a business. And so really take note to what she's saying about how she manages people. And I do think, you brought up this idea of like, if, you're getting these requests that may sort of like contradict, you're really maybe policy to get technical with it, or even the
Mhm.
values and like making that call. And,
Yes.
as business owners, we face that all the time. And
Yes.
so I really do appreciate you sharing that. And what good ground. And that's beautiful. Now, Alicia, are you an only child?
I am not an
Oh,
only child.
okay.
I have a younger brother who
Okay.
is 6 years, about 6.5 years younger than I
Okay.
am. His
Yes.
name is Christopher. I love him to
Okay.
death. Hey. And then we also have a bonus sister, and her name is Moji, and
Okay.
she is 1 year younger than myself.
Okay. All right. So you're the oldest.
I am.
And the boys seem like they never want to grow up, but that's a whole different topic.
Well, so funny. Yeah, I always teased my mom and sometimes my dad, and I said, "Listen, life was great. I was the only one for 6 years. Then y'all had to
Right.
go have him. What is that about?" But we are thick as thieves, closer
Yeah.
than close.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Despite
beautiful.
being that little bit of that year, gap.
Right.
I was a teenager when he
Right. Right.
was
Right.
coming
Right.
into like
Right.
elementary, so I didn't want to have him by my side all the time.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you would never be able to tell that would have been the case.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, as a teenager, he's cramping your style a little bit, but now, yeah, that's cool. That's great that you all get along so well. Really, really powerful. Yeah. So any other advice or words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience? I mean, you work with so many types of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Advice?
So I feel like stay true to yourself, stay true to your values, because when you show that to people on a daily basis and you are just you and true to yourself, people see that and people will come. So if it is your business, weave that into your business so that that is part of your customer service model. Because these days in service, whether it's retail, whether it's automotive, whether it is hospitality,
Right.
good customer service can
Yeah.
be hard to find. People these days are so social media laden
Yeah.
that they can put one thing out on social media because someone maybe at your job had a bad day and they got that worst experience. It's going to go 10 times over that they got that worst experience.
True.
Take your value, take your love for what you do, teach
Mhm.
that to you and your staff, hone it, in, and just watch everything else flourish.
Yeah, I love that. And I love your emphasis on just really being passionate about what you do.
You have
Because
to.
it's true. Like, you go into a store and I'm still one of I love the mall, yeah. That's one of my favorite places on earth, online shopping now. And like you said, the customer service, I don't know where it is. I worked in hospitality years ago when I first started my career. One of the, best hospitality companies out here still international. And it was always like the customer was right. The customer is always right. And that's what was drilled into us. Now, at L'Occitane, you guys
Mhm.
do like facials and everything. Like you help people to like engage in self-care. Like I
We
know
do.
when I visit the boutique, that's gonna be like a spa day for me.
Yes.
Tell us your secret about what do you do for your own self-care.
Let me tell you. Moisturize and stay hydrated. Let me tell you. It's all about, self-care and, making sure, number one, making sure you have a good skincare routine for the face as well as the body because we only get one of these,
I know that's right.
you know.
Mm.
So I have a good skincare routine for my face, and then I use, natural based products as much as possible just to
Yes.
make sure so that my skin can stay glowy, it can stay
Yes.
healthy. The biggest
Yes.
thing is healthy. That's what it's all about. So I encourage people to have a really good, skin and body care
Oh, I'm
routine.
definitely coming to see you.
You have to. You will enjoy it. The
Keep the
mini
glow
facials are
going.
complimentary.
Yeah, oh, bless you. Yeah, I want to check her out. International Plaza, amazing. Yeah. So, wow. I think we gave them a lot to chew on. What do you think?
And they just have to
Yeah.
eat it up and let it digest.
Well, before we close out though, I'm a big believer that leaders are readers. Can you share with us what's like one of your favorite books or most recent books that you read? Do you have a favorite book?
So right now, I have not read anything lately. I love to read. As a child, I was a voracious reader. Once you get into retail, your hours are so up and down. You don't
Yes.
have a lot of time to sit and
Yes.
open that
Sure.
book. So
Right.
I have books. I
Uh-huh.
just haven't had a chance to really open them like I would like to. But reading is fundamental, right? And
Yes.
we learn. So while I'm not sitting reading a ton of books, I do try to watch like documentaries,
Oh, nice.
docuseries.
Yes.
And when I'm on YouTube, I try to watch things that I can learn from. So
Mhm.
I'm constantly learning. I will tell you one author. I do have two books of hers. Haven't had a chance to read them, but I do follow her on LinkedIn, and she is a celebrity. It is Gabrielle Union.
Oh, Gabrielle.
And I love how she introduces us to women and women of color who
Okay.
are out there doing their business thing, their boss thing.
Okay.
And she really has a way of uplifting.
Okay.
And that right now for me is something that is very important in this scope of where we are in our
Yes.
world, in
Yes.
our lives, and for all women, but essentially for women of color.
Yes.
So I love the fact that she does that, and I can at least follow that way.
Know that
Platform.
about her. Wow. Yep. Yeah, I have to
Yeah,
check her
yeah.
out.
And she's a multiple stream business.
She's a girl boss, right?
She is. She really
I
is.
love it. Okay, that's good to know. I'll definitely have to check her out in that regard because I know she's been doing something with like fitness, and then of course her hands are full with her family and husband and children.
And she
I didn't
now
realize
has
it. Hmm?
some more products coming out that are, I believe, geared toward babies
Oh,
and children, if
okay.
I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, expansion. That is what it's all about.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
do you want to officially invite the audience to come and see you for those who are either residing in the Tampa Bay area or if you're passing through or if you're coming to my conference, then you will have an opportunity.
Yes, please do. Come visit us at L'Occitane. It is L'Occitane in Provence. We are in the International Plaza, and we are the lower level, first floor, right outside of the Neiman Marcus Mall entrance. You can't miss us. We're yellow. That is our warm color to invite everybody in. So please come see us for natural based hair, skin, and body care.
Yeah, well, Alicia, thank you so much. I mean, you're such a girl boss yourself. And I love how you just model, like you model faith, you model value-based leadership, you model excellent customer service, you model beauty. And
Oh,
you
thank
model,
you.
it's just quite a powerful combination. May God continue to bless you with health and happiness as you continue to bless so many others and make sure that they're beautiful and shining. Moisturized and hydrated, you all. If you don't
Yes,
remember anything else, remember Alicia and remember
yes.
those words of wisdom. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Montrella. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye bye.